Hey, I wanted to say something, but as you know, all these things are always controlled. Okay? What I wanted to say was, let's get into it. These things are always controlled. You remember? Okay, so when I want to say something, I want to say something, and these things are always controlled, but they're controlled so I don't say things that are inappropriate or don't fit the situation or whatever. But I have been a person who has always been for freedom, independence, and liberty, and that includes, of course, includes the First Amendment. And the First Amendment is the first part of the Bill of Rights of the United States. And control is something that is usually deceitful, usually lies, deceit, and manipulation. I put some videos. This is for a playlist, and I put some videos in beforehand because I have been accused of something here in Jeanette, Pennsylvania, and I was wondering, as I was watching these videos that I'm posting, I was wondering what the reason was for these accusations that are recorded, and they are in the public record as accusations. And I was wondering, you know, because years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I had said something about this, about all of these things coming in, all of these accusations not having a public record, and here we have the internet with videos and social media, and it's all working together, right? Okay. I had said before, when this thing all came up, I told these people in the courts, in this courtroom here in Jeanette, I met with the Attorney General, or someone who was claiming to be the Attorney General, a attorney with the Attorney General's office. What was I saying? He claimed to be with the Attorney General's office, and we were talking about that charge of impersonating a public servant when the officer, and this is the other charge, which was the charge, these are all these charges, there's 3 charges, and they're all on the same document. But the second charge was for an unregistered vehicle, or not, yeah, an unregistered vehicle, and the emissions, proof of emissions inspection. And the person who the paperwork says issued that citation is named Derek Manley, Officer Derek Manley. And the person who issued the citation, when he pulled me over on that road, had a tattoo on his left arm. He was a tall, very, the guy had no tan at all. He was white. He was very white, and he was bald, and he was tall. And I remember that he had a tattoo on his left arm and hand. And when I went to the court, the man who said that he gave me the citation in front of the Attorney General's office guy, he claimed to be the guy that gave the citation. And he claimed, and I asked who that was of the agent from the, I'm assuming it's an agent from the Attorney General's office. I asked him who that was, and he says, that's the guy, that's Derek Manley. That's the guy that gave you the ticket. And this guy had brown hair. He didn't have a tattoo, and he looked a lot like someone who was related to Bob Casey, who was the former senator, who is the former senator, U.S. senator from this area. But okay, so now what was I talking? I was saying that the internet was, see, in Florida they had told me that I was a judge, and that was I don't know if that was a county judge or a state judge, but Florida told me that, and that's what I told the Attorney General office agent, and he said, well, we'll just overlook this if you don't do it, and we'll come up with the second hearing in 2 months to readdress these charges with your automobile. But what I was saying with Florida, and I was involved with the Casey Anthony trial, and they said after that trial, they asked me if I wanted to be a judge, and we went through all kinds of things, and I said, sure, I'll be a judge. I might have suggested it, I'm not sure, but I might have requested it, but because I wasn't being paid for anything. Now, Casey Anthony is broke, and she owes her lawyers a lot of money, and we were talking about that, and we were talking about not being paid for the services that we were providing to the United States people, and the government wasn't doing that job. They were kind of getting us to do their job while they were taking $200 a day to $3,000, maybe $3,600 a day for those offices. Okay? And we were talking about that, and they said, whenever you get pulled over by a police officer, you're required to tell him you're a judge. And that's what they told me. But this internet